today I will be sharing 6 new dump and go slow cooker recipes with you, and the best part about these recipes is they only have about 3 ingredients in them, not including seasonings of course, but since these recipes have such minimal ingredients, they have such minimal steps too, you're not going to be needing to spend like hours and hours trying to prep a slow cooker recipe in your kitchen in the morning. These really are effortless slow cooker recipes, and the kitchen looks a little different. It's just because we took a road trip down south to enjoy some warmer weather for the next week. I hope you enjoy this video today, and let's get to this kitchen and let's get to cooking. To kick us off this week, we are making this amazing barbecue orange chicken. So over to my slow cooker, I'm lining it with a slow cooker liner. This is just going to help so I don't have to clean my slow cooker this evening. But now I'm adding in 2 large chicken breasts. I'm seasoning the chicken with a dash of pepper and salt. Next, add in a half a cup of barbecue sauce. You could use any brand or any type of barbecue sauce that you like. Now add in 3/4 cup of orange marmalade. Now that is all you have to do. Just cover this with a lid and cook it on low for 6 hours. It can't get any easier than that. Once the chicken's cooked through, just shred it up and then you could serve this orange barbecue chicken up. We served ours over a bed of white rice, but you could serve this over cauliflower rice. You could serve this over noodles. However you choose to do so, it will really work well. But this has the most perfect subtle orange flavor about it. Plus it has a great barbecue flavor about it at the same time. We all got seconds just because we really did enjoy it that much. It was such a delicious, easy dinner to throw together on that busy day. Now we are making this creamy chicken pasta, and since I'm out of town and I don't want to spend a lot of time this evening doing dishes, I'm using another one of these slow cooker liners for this recipe. I don't use these slow cooker liners for every slow cooker meal I make, but you know, when it's going to be a crazy day and I know I'm not going to do the dishes in the evening, I like to use one of these. But I added 2 chicken breasts into my slow cooker along with a tablespoon of Italian seasoning mix. Next, 8 ounces of cream cheese and then a 10-ounce can of cream of chicken soup. If you have my cookbook, pull it out because you will find this recipe on page 166 in the slow cooker section. This is a family favorite recipe for sure. Cover this with a lid and cook this on low for 6 hours. Once the chicken's almost cooked through, just boil up your pasta. You could use a half a pound of any type of pasta that you have on hand. Just cook it according to the package instructions. But now that my chicken's cooked through, I'm just shredding it up with 2 forks, and once everything's well combined, just stir your pasta in and then you could serve this dinner up. Here's what our dinner looks like. I've been making this creamy chicken pasta like this for years and years, and it is just a family favorite for sure. That's why it's in my cookbook. But I did serve this with this avocado ranch salad kit. I found it on discount at my Walmart, and we did think it was pretty good. Not my favorite salad kit ever, but it was good. Now we are making these queso chicken tacos, so into my slow cooker I'm adding 2 chicken breasts. Next, add in a can of Rotel. This is an undrained can. Then add in a cup of queso. You could use any brand or any type of queso you like. And the house we're staying at doesn't have any measuring cups or measuring spoons really, so I kind of just measured it with how I think a cup should be. Next, I added in a tablespoon and a half of taco seasoning. This cooked on low for 6 hours or until the chicken was cooked through. Then I shredded up the chicken and we served ours in crispy tortillas that I fried up on the stove. We topped ours with a little bit of cheese, and this is so flavorful and delicious. Also, it makes for great leftovers the next day if you want to turn this mixture into like quesadillas. It really is so good like that. Now we are making this Tuscan chicken, so into my slow cooker I'm adding in 2 large chicken breasts. Next, add in about a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Just sprinkle it over the chicken. Now I'm adding in a 16-ounce jar of Alfredo sauce. After you add that jar in, go ahead and add in about a half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. I did add some of the oil in that was in the jar of the sun-dried tomatoes. Go ahead and cook this on low for about 6 hours. Once the cooking time is up and the chicken's cooked through, just shred up that chicken with 2 forks carefully. And then this is optional, but I did add in 2 cups of fresh chopped spinach, and then just let that spinach wilt down for about 10 minutes. If you don't want to add the spinach in, you certainly don't have to. It is optional, like I said. Once the spinach wilted down, you could just serve this up. We served ours over a bed of cooked pasta. You could serve this over rice. You could serve this in like rolls to make like Tuscan chicken rolls. Oh, that would be so good. You could serve it over cauliflower rice. Really anything. My little ones absolutely loved this one because they thought the pasta was fun, but this is super flavorful. Now we're making these barbecue ribs, so we're going to get started on the seasoning mixture first. It's just 3 tablespoons of brown sugar in this little bowl. Next, I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of paprika and then my salt and pepper. Give this a stir. This little mixture is going to make these ribs so good. You have to trust me. But after you give this a stir, set the seasoning mixture to the side. Now I'm going to pull out my ribs and I'm going to place them on this cutting board. I have my baby back ribs right here. You're going to want to use between like 4 to 5 pounds or anything around that size. Now remove the membrane on the back of the ribs. I do suggest you doing this. It's not necessary, but the membrane can make your ribs like chewy and rubbery and really not as tender. Just get a butter knife and slice it under the backside of your ribs and then pull up the membrane just like this. It really is easy to do and it makes these ribs so much better, I promise. Now we're going to rub the seasoning mixture on both sides of the ribs, the back side and the front side. Then grab some barbecue sauce. You could use any type of barbecue sauce you like. Use about a cup of it and pour it on the back and front side of the ribs as well. Once your ribs are coated well like this, place them in your slow cooker. You want to place them in there standing upright like this and place the meaty side against the inside wall of your slow cooker. I've tried different ways to like cook my ribs in the slow cooker and this is my favorite way. I'm placing a little bit more barbecue sauce over the top. Cook this on low for about 7 hours. This recipe is on page 141 in my cookbook. These are just like the best slow cooker ribs. That's why they're in my cookbook. I also have over 100 of my family's favorite recipes in this book. I do have some books available if you don't have one yet. I know a lot of you guys already do have a cookbook, so thank you for grabbing one. I'm so thankful for you guys, but here's what my cookbook looks like. We also made some popsicles on this day, so that's what my little one is holding. She wanted to show you, but here is what dinner looks like. After the ribs were through cooking, we just poured a little bit more barbecue sauce over the top. These ribs are fall apart tender. They don't even like hold on to the bone. They are that tender. These are like the most perfect ribs. You really have to try them if you haven't yet. And then I did serve these with mashed potatoes. I went easy and did these microwave mashed potatoes since we are out of town. And I did serve this with like a spinach side salad on the side. Now we are making this berry cobbler, and this berry cobbler is the best dessert you can make in your slow cooker. So into this bowl, I'm adding 8 cups of frozen mixed berries. You could use any type of berries that you would like. Next, add in a tablespoon of cornstarch and give this a stir. The cornstarch is going to help thicken up this berry cobbler and make it so it's not as like runny in the end, and it's just going to help the berries cook the best. Now set this mixture to the side. I have a half a cup of melted butter in this bowl. Now add in a 15-ounce box of vanilla cake mix. You could use any type of vanilla cake mix that you like. Now give this a stir until it looks really nice and crumbly and everything is well combined. Now into my slow cooker, I'm adding the berry mixture right in there. I do want to let you know, if you don't want to use berries for this, you could always substitute the berries for peaches, or you could do like berries and peaches. That would be really good. Over the berries, I'm adding that crumbly mixture, spread it out, cook this on low for about 4 hours, and once the edges are like golden brown and your house is smelling so good, you could serve this up. We topped ours with a little bit of vanilla ice cream on top, but you could serve yours with whipped topping topping, or really anything that you would enjoy, this berry cobbler is so delicious. It tastes like you spent hours trying to make it. It tastes like that topping layer is homemade. It really is absolutely phenomenal. And since we did a road trip out of town this past week, I do want to show you some clips from our road trip. And first off, I do want to let you guys know we used to eat out like every meal when we would go out of town, but it would cost so much money. So that's why I made some slow cookers from our rental for this past week for dinner. That helped us save a lot of money. Groceries are expensive too, but eating out is just crazy expensive these days. But we went on some family-friendly hikes and it was a lot of fun. We did grab some crepes for dessert one night and that was like really delicious, but we had a great time. I have lots more easy dinner videos like this on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed, and thank you guys so much for being here today. Bye for now.